Alright, so I'm going to try to do a video with my gear. This is a Gregory backpack. It is 55 liters and it's kind of heavy. Somebody doing a thru hike or something like that wouldn't take this because it's like 3 pounds. And pounds add up actually very quickly. But right now it's empty. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bag. It's waterproof. I got it from 6 Moon Designs. It'll go all the way down in my backpack. And then anything that I don't want to get wet will go down inside this bag. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to put down in there is going to be my quilt. There are 2 options. You can roll it up and put it in a compression sack, and that can make it kind of small, or you can just take it and stuff it down in there, which is actually the easiest thing to do, especially when you're going to be out on the trail. So I went with a quilt rather than a mummy bag. This is a Paria Thermodown 30. So it's a down quilt. It does not mean that you'll be comfortable at 30 degrees. It means that you wouldn't die if it were 30 degrees outside and you were sleeping in it. However, the temperatures around here are getting down to like 63 at night. Not here, but up in the mountains. So this will be plenty for me. So I'm just going to take it and shove it. It has strap pads on it, and I'll show you what those are for in a second. Alright, so I'm just going to compress that down as far as I can. The next thing I'm going to put in this dry bag is anything that I wouldn't want to get wet while I'm out. So this is a bag that has some clothes in it. Most everybody at night will change clothes and put on dry clothes so that the clothes you've been hiking in can dry, and you just feel better when you're in cleaner clothes. And it also has extra socks. This is also a wet bag, a little bit redundant, but I guess I'm just a little paranoid. So I also want to make sure that that doesn't get wet. And with my quilt being a down quilt, if it gets wet, it won't do me any good. I would have no insulation at all. So there's that. This is also a dry bag. It's the other thing I wouldn't want to get wet. I have a battery bank in here, and I have a headlamp. So I don't want that wet. And I think I put my cord in here. Yeah, my charging cord's on. Wouldn't do me any good to have it if I didn't have a cord. But it's in there. So that's going to go down in here. What else? This is my pillow and a sheet. I actually bought a sheet for my sleeping pad because I kept sliding off of it the very first time I ever slept on it, and the first time I slept here at home in the yard. The second time I went on an overnight just to see like what would work, what wouldn't work. So the sheet helped. I did not slide off the sleeping pad, and that was great. So those 2 things are in here. That's also going to go down in my dry bag. And I'm going to squish it as much as I can. Alright, what else do I want in there? I'm kind of iffy on whether I should put my wallet in there or not. I think I will. I think I'm going to put my wallet in here. Obviously, I can't stop at a nearby tree and buy anything. So hopefully I won't need it, but it will stay in there and get dry. A friend that I hiked with in the past actually was on a trail and passed some people who thought that they were going to stop at somewhere along the trail and get refreshments. That's not a thing. So if you for some reason think that, that's incorrect. All right, and the last thing I'm going to put in there is my down jacket. This is from Decathlon. It's called the 4Class. It was about $100. It's very thin, very packable, and very warm. But especially at night, when it starts getting dark, if you're sitting outside at camp, you get a little cool. You can put this on. So this is also going to go in my dry bag. And I have to be a little bit honest with you right now. I'm really having some anxiety today because I'm a little nervous about this upcoming trip. I think it's normal and natural for everybody to have anxiety. I definitely do have it, so if it's not normal, I have it anyway. I feel a little off, obviously. I'm also scared of flying. And I fly a couple times a year. To the point where my heart starts beating so fast that I feel like I'm going to pass out. However, I don't feel that bad right now. But I do definitely have some anxiety about this. What I'm not going to do, though, is I'm not going to let that control me. Because I can say to myself, even like with the flying thing, most of the time, you know, it's more dangerous to be in a plane. And statistically speaking, as my son would say, I'm probably in more danger at my house than I would be out in the woods. Anything can happen at any time. I realize that. I'm not going to let things like that control me, though. Also, I have a knowledge. This isn't I rolled my bag down, clipped it up. Now it's waterproof and it's in the bottom. Alright, so this is not going to be a religious video, but this is just my belief. I'm not going to stay here a second longer than I'm supposed to. And I'm not going to leave a second sooner than I'm supposed to. So that helps a little bit. So here in a little bit, hopefully I'll be calm. Right now I'm not, but just thought I'd share that. Alright, next. That's going to go. That's going to go. That's my tent. That all goes on the outside. Alright, so this is my sleeping pad. This is a Paria Outdoor. It's a Recharge XL. It's kind of big and bulky. That's going to go in. I'm going to actually be putting my tent on the outside because I do know it's June. We're going to have pop-up showers and thunderstorms every day, so my tent's going to end up being wet. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it on the outside. But one thing that I am going to put on the inside of my backpack are my tent poles. A lot of people will put them on the outside pocket of their backpack. And then I've also seen a lot of videos where people say, oh, that's where all those tent poles are that I see laying on the side of the trail. Won't be able to put the tent up without the poles. So these are going to go in here behind the waterproof bag and all the way down to the bottom, and I'll leave those in there. Alright, that's going to go on the outside. These are my tent stakes. I'm going to put these down in the front pocket in the bottom. Also, I don't want those falling out along trail. These are a couple guy lines. This also can hang up in your tent, and you can put your headlamp, or I have this little device and it will blow up my sleeping pad, and it also has a light on it, so I can drop it down in here, and this kind of gives off an ambient light inside your tent. I don't know where I'm going to put this because on my last trip it kept going off and on, zzz, 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 going up and down the trail, and when I finally stopped and took it out, the sucker was hot. So I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put it yet. But I am just going to keep it stored in here for now. And I'll decide in a minute exactly where to put it. This is my rain gear. It's a top and a bottom. It's just cheapo from Walmart, Frog Togs. I do not have a pack cover. Everything I've seen doesn't work. You get wet anyway. The pack cover kind of goes over like the front of your backpack, but where the straps and stuff are get wet, and then it just soaks into the backpack. So, I mean, that really wouldn't be very helpful. So, I'm debating on whether to take this little cheap generic emergency poncho just to throw over the entirety of me so that it would keep my backpack dry. I haven't decided yet. If I choose to do that, I guess I can put it in there. This is my toiletries kit. It has toothbrush, toothpaste, a wash rag, just in case I want to wipe off, a brush that I got from a lady at work. Love her. Has a little mirror in the handle, so that's cool. This is going to just stay up here in the brain. This is called the brain of the backpack. It's the top. I'm just going to put this in here. And then this is my first aid kit. It has some Band-Aids. I need to double check and make sure I put my medicine in here. Yeah, my medicine's in there. Leukotape. That's where my extra smart cap landed. Duct tape. Alcohol pad. I can't sew a button on, but maybe if there's some sort of emergency, I can figure it out. I don't know, we'll see. And then also in there, yeah, that's all that's going in there. Oh, no, it's not all that's going in there. Where did I put those? Alright, if for some reason that my water filter was to fail, these are Aquatabs, so I'm just going to put a couple of these in the first aid kit. That'd be like first aid for my water supply, I guess. So that will go in here. My hair's falling out. Can't believe I have any left. Alright, that's going to go in the back part of my brain. Gonna go on the outside. Alright, so I guess my food is going in. Y'all, I probably have way too much food. Everybody talks about the amount of food they bring back. They say you pack your fears. So maybe I'm doing that this time. I'm also a fast learner, so by the first time I come off for a 0 day, this bag might get a lot smaller. Because I don't like taking a bunch of heavy stuff. And let me tell you, this does not want to go in here. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. so I barely got that in there. And these are my snacks. How the heck I'm getting that in there is beyond me. But I'm going to leave that near the top also so it's easily accessible. I would prefer to put it in the top of my brain, but wow, I've got way too much in there. Sounds like our hiking partners here. Alright, sorry about that. He gets a little excited when people come to the house. So I'll put that in there. I guess that's all that's going in my brain. Oh, this is a little cooling towel. Never used one. Frog togs, get it wet, put it around your neck. So I guess we'll see if that works. I'll throw that up here in the brain for right now. And then I have to make a decision. My tent going on top, or is this going on top? And this is kind of Featherstone. What do you call these?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a sleeping pad too.
It's written on the side.
It's a sleeping pad too, but nobody really wants to sleep on this. I just put it underneath of my pad so that it doesn't get, hopefully doesn't get punctured. So this is gonna go on top. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky because now that everything is inside here, it's extremely very full. And I forgot to clasp that. After I pulled this tight, kind of a redundancy, this clasps, keep everything closed. And then there are adjustments here where I can make this taller, which is what I'm definitely gonna have to do in order to get that on. Oh, here we go. Alright, so this little dude's going up here. Kind of fun because it catches all the branches while you're walking. Get you caught up in a tree. Barely. I can barely get that to snap. That's great. That means I've got way more than I had even last time. It was extremely heavy. My hiking partner may leave me because she's going to be like, Lord girl, what are you doing? She has all kinds of experience. Alright, now, which side is this? This is my right side. So I'm going to put my water on this side. I forgot I'd ordered this cool little thing. Goes down into the water bottle, snakes up on there. That's a bite. You can drink out of it versus like a bladder. People talk about those leaking, so I didn't want one of those. And my water bottles don't want to fit inside because I've got too much crap on the inside of my backpack. Alright, there we go. That's in there. Alright, on this side in the pouch, I'm going to I'm going to put my poop kit. We're going to be staying mainly at Privy's, so hopefully I won't have to dig holes and poop in them, but you can't just leave it laying on top of the ground because thousands of people go through there every year and that's kind of gross. So this is a trowel to dig a hole. Wipes to clean with. When we're staying at the Privy, it's basically like an outhouse. but it has like an actual toilet seat. These are alcohol wipes to wipe the seat off. And then a couple antibacterial hand wipes, which I won't use very often because they don't kill like norovirus and stuff like that, and that's what people tend to get on trail. What I'll be using are these little unscented soap thins, is what they're called. They're little sheets. They're kind of thin, almost like a page of a Bible or something. And you get it wet and you got soap, and then I'll just rinse my hands off and actually will wash my hands. I'm going to put all that in a plastic bag so that when we get wet, hopefully none of that gets wet. That'd be a real big mess if I had all my soap thins turn into soap inside my poop kit. Wow. This might be interesting, guys. Alright, so that's going in there. My trowel is going in there. I'm going to put an extra empty bottle in there. I specifically got one that was black, so that it's a different color. And then my sweet husband, I had him drill some holes in the top. So if I kind of want to rinse off or anything like that, I can put water in here and do it with this bottle. And then the bottle that I'm going to be mixing electrolytes in will somehow have to shove them in there as well. Good Lord. So my first mistake was I did exactly what I was not supposed to do, which was I bought my backpack before I bought my gear, and my hiking partner told me not to do that. I did not listen to her wisdom. And I was like, oh, all these videos that I'm watching, people are taking 30-liter backpacks. So surely a 55 will work. Well, when you buy stuff that is cheaper, it's also bulkier, it's also heavier, it takes up more room. Problem 2 is from my shoulder to here, I'm short, so therefore I have to have an extra small pack. And unbeknownst to me, when you have an extra small pack, they actually take liters out of your backpack. So this is supposed to be a 55-liter backpack, but because it's extra small, it took it down to 52. So I got screwed out of 3 liters, but I paid the same price as everybody else. Alright. Don't know exactly where I'm going to stick this yet. Alright, so my water stuff. Like I said, I'm going to keep this on the outside because I'm going to need it. And I swear, no matter what you do, air gets in everything. Roll that out. Shove it in here with my rain gear. Maybe. Watch it pop out on me going down trail. Thankfully that clasps, so hopefully it's tight enough it won't work its way out of there. Still haven't decided what to do with this problem yet. Maybe I'll just put it on top so nothing can hit it. And if it starts making stupid noises, it's close enough for me to be able to reach. Very importantly, we'll just stick these in here and we don't even need to talk about it. Alright, another thing I wanted to bring, which I truly wanted to sit upright, but I don't think I have room for that to happen because these pockets are kind of small and not as stretchy as I prefer. So we'll do the good old sandwich bag test and see how that works. This is just a little bit of Dawn. This is a little bit of unscented body wash. These are generic bottles from Walmart. Totally expect them to leak. So put them in here and hope nothing goes too wrong with them. I'll stick that up there. This will likely gross some of you out. You'll probably get over it. You might not. This is called a Kula cloth. So when you go to the bathroom as a girl, you need to dab a little bit. So you just dry yourself and it sticks onto the outside of your backpack. Not used for poopy. It's also made to where you can put it out in the UV and that would kill any germs. So it's clean. Leave that hanging on there. Alright, so now for my side pockets. This is my gum, which I've put in a little bag. Y'all may crack up at me, that's okay. Alright, I have a little multi-tool, Gerber Dumb. I have a little bit of lotion. I have regular chapstick. Oh, SPF chapstick. This is Mace. I realize it's in a baggie, but I guess I'll say, hang on, let me get my mace out so I can spray you. Which everybody that wants me to bring a gun, that's the same thing I'd have to do, right? Like, hang on, let me get that out first, and then we can have this confrontation. That ain't gonna happen, so I guess I'll just have to beat somebody down on trail. I don't mind doing that. It'd be inconvenient, take up a little of my hiking time, but I can do whatever I need to do, I guess. Alright, so that's in that side pocket. Or hip belt pocket, actually, is what I should be calling it. Then my other hip belt pocket is going to be holding my smokes. And my... That's not what I was looking for. Oh, I think I already put it in there. I put my sunscreen, I put face sunscreen in there, and I actually put it in my, here I'm forgetting my words now, like bathroom bag. I put that in my bathroom bag because I would be putting sunscreen on my face in the morning. I don't intend to wear sunscreen really at all because I don't like it. This is a sun hoodie that I'm gonna hike in. It'll keep the sun off of me, has a hood, and then I'll also have a baseball cap. These are wool draws, which dry quick, and they're supposed to keep down on any odor. TMI, but I'm going to take some little panty liners and put in there because obviously you don't have room to carry clothes for every day that you're going to be out, and plus in 5 minutes you're going to be stinky anyway and sweaty. So I'll just put those in the bottoms. And then I have my hiking pants. I decided to do pants because the last time I went out there was poison ivy everywhere. And I don't want that. Trekking poles. And where are my hiking shoes? I don't know. These are going to be my camp shoes for at night. so that when I take off all my regular stuff, I can give my feet a break. And I have a bunch of straps around here, so I'm gonna put this on strap somewhere. And they can just dangle. And that is not one of my straps. Ah! I'm scared to pick this thing up. It probably weighs 475 pounds. Actually, hang on. I'll go weigh it. Oh no, hell, I don't have my tent on there. Good Lord. Here we go. Told y'all I'm having anxiety today. Half lost my mind. Oh, and one other thing, I have this Garmin InReach Mini. Has an SOS button on the side. However, if you're being attacked or having a heart attack, it's going to be a while before anybody gets there, so you better just be prepared to take care of yourself. But if anything breaks, you know, like a leg, then you just have to wait for somebody to get to you. Alright, on the bottom of my backpack, I'm going to put my tent. Maybe. Here we go with my fingers not working again. The other night after I posted my video, for what it will, it's numb right now. My middle finger is numb. Then it started all down my hand. Got to about right there. Just ridiculous. No reason for it. That's life. But then it went away. Whatever. Cooper, can you not whine? You're not going out right now. I'm gonna look like that damn lady from that video that hiked the Pacific Crest Trail. Dear Lord. Look like I totally have no idea what I'm doing, because that's actually true. Alright, so this is gonna go down here. I'm gonna run that through the strap on my tent so that it doesn't get knocked out. It's already trying to slide on me. Stop it. Gonna be one of them days. Alright. Alright, let me redo this one because it's being a brat. Alright, there we go. my hip belt. This will transfer most of the weight to the lower half of my body. Alright, now I need to do my shoulder straps. Chest straps so don't go flying off. These are load lifters to pull it closer to your body. Alright, now if y'all hold on, I'll go and tell you how much this sucker weighs. Hold please.
Speaking of keys, should I leave my keys here somewhere in case he has to move the car?
You can just leave them in the car. Well, you can leave them anywhere. There's a key hanger by the back door. You can have them there.
I'm looking for.
All right, so my backpack is 32.8 pounds. Before I put these little shoes on there, and they're not real heavy, so. But that is with full food, 5 days worth of food, 2 full liters of water. So it'll get a little bit lighter, but anyway. All right, see you guys soon.